All right, so up to this point, we can log in, we can log out. We can only see clients if we're logged in, but I want to make it so that we are redirected from certain pages if we're not logged in. So we shouldn't be able to look at this right now because we're not actually logged in. Even though we can't see the clients, it's not coming, it's not letting it in from Firebase. I don't even want to be able to see the page. We should just get booted out to the login page. So we're going to implement something called an auth guard to handle just that. So let's go ahead and open up VS Code. I'm going to close this stuff out. And then what we're going to do is in the app folder, we're going to create a folder called guards. Okay, and that's where any guards that we create are going to go. So let's say new folder, guards. And we're going to have a file here called auth.guard.ts. And this is essentially going to be a service. Okay, so we're going to bring in injectable just like we would with any other service. Okay, that's going to be from Angular Core. We're also going to bring in something from the router. We're going to bring in something called can activate, okay, which allows us to create these guards. So let's say import, and we're going to do can activate, and we also want to bring in router, and that's going to be from Angular/router. Okay, we're also going to be working with the map operator, so let's say import from reactive extensions /add/operator/map. And then we also want to bring in Angular Auth from Angular Fire 2. Or it's going to be actually Angular Fire 2/auth. And this should actually be Angular Fire Auth. Alright, so I think that's all we have to bring in. So just like with any other service, we're going to put our @injectable right here. And then we're going to create our class. So export class. It's going to be called auth guard. And then we just want to say implement can activate so that we can use that. Alright, this should actually have some parentheses after it. Now don't worry about this line for now, that'll go away. But what we're going to do is put in a constructor. Okay, and then we're going to inject into here the router. Set that to the router that we brought in. And then we also want, let's say, public, and let's do AF auth. And we're going to set that to Angular Fire Auth. Okay, and then we need to actually have a function called can activate. That's why this is having this error. It says incorrectly implements interface can activate. So to fix that, we're going to go, let's just bring that back up here. We're going to go under the constructor and say can activate. And then that's actually going to be the type of observable, which we actually have to bring in. And that's going to be a Boolean. Okay, now you'll see that red line went away. Now we have a red line here because we actually have to bring in observable. I forgot to do that. So let's bring in that. Okay, and let's see, observable is going to come from reactive extensions. So it's going to be rxjs/RX. Okay, and now inside here, basically what a guard does is we have some kind of condition, and if it returns false, that means that we shouldn't be able to access the route, okay, or we should not be able to access the URL. If it returns true, then we should be able to. So what we want to do is check to see if the user is logged in. If they're not, then we want to redirect them and return false. If they are logged in, then we want to return true, meaning everything's okay and they should be able to visit the route. So we're just going to do an if statement here. Actually, I'm sorry, we're not going to do an if statement yet. We're going to use the auth state map, just like we did in the auth service. If we take a look at that real quick, right here, auth state map, we're actually going to do the same thing. So I'm just going to grab that, and then we'll go to our guard, and let's just paste that in. Now, instead of having this go to auth, we're going to have it go to some curly braces so we can do some stuff in here. So we want to check for auth. So let's do if not auth. That'll also have an else. Let's see, why is this giving us this error? Observable void. Okay, so this should fix in a minute. So if not auth, that means that we're not logged in, so we want to redirect this dot router dot navigate, and we want to redirect to login. Okay, and then we just want to return false. Else, then we want to return true because we're logged in and everything's okay and we're able to visit this route. Okay, so that should be good. Let's save it. Now, this by itself isn't going to do anything. We need to implement this can activate on any route that we want to have some access control for. So let's go to our app.module.ts file where we have all of our routes, and we're going to bring in the auth guard. So right here we'll say import auth guard, and that's going to be from /guards/auth.guard, and then that's a service, so it needs to go into our providers array right here. So we'll just say auth guard, and then we should be able to add to any route we want can activate and then put in the auth guard. So for instance, the dashboard, we're going to put in a third parameter here, and we're going to say can activate, and then set that to a set of brackets, and we're going to put in there auth guard. And you can have more than one guard for a route. Alright, now we also want to have the auth guard for the add client, because we don't want, we want people to be logged in to be able to add a client or even see the page. So we'll put it there. We also want it for both of these, the details page and the edit page. Put those in as well. We don't want it for the login or for the register. So let's go ahead and save, and let's see if it works. And it looks like it does. So if I try to go to the dashboard, which is just the root URL here, it brings us to the login. If I try to go to add-client, brings us to the login. Good. We should be able to go to register though. Alright, so let's try logging in now. And then everything should work. Okay, so now we can see clients, we can add clients, we can do anything we want as long as we're logged in. If I log out, brings us right back to the login page. Alright guys, so I can think of 2 more videos that we're going to have, or at least 2 more things that we need to do here. One is to implement the register, and then one is to implement the settings so that we can disable the register if we want, and add a couple other things to the settings as well. Alright, so we'll do that in the next video.